that your brain, the physical functioning of your brain, the moment by moment physical functioning of your brain creates your mind. And if your brain's not right, your mind's not right. Better love, better money, better health, because your brain, we're going to talk about, is involved in everything you do. How you think, how you feel, how you act, how you get along with other people. My goal is to end mental illness by creating a revolution in brain health.
Social media and video games, and encourage them to play as much as they could, because that would drop blood flow to their brain. Brand new study, the more screen time, the smaller the brain.
What is our brain? What does it do? And how do we develop a relationship with it?
Well, it's very clear to me, after all the scans I've done, that your brain, the physical functioning of your brain, the moment by moment physical functioning of your brain creates your mind. And if your brain's not right, your mind's not right. And there are a lot of spiritual teachers that'll separate the mind from the brain, but you can't, because just think of Alzheimer's disease, very damaged brains, and they're very damaged minds that go, people that act in ways they'd never act if their brain was healthy, that they don't remember people that they're deeply in love with. And so if we want a healthy mind, it actually starts with a healthy brain. And, I've had the blessing or the curse to scan over 1,000 convicted felons and over 100 murderers, and their brains are very damaged. So if your behavior is so bad, you end up in a cage. And they're not thinking, I have to understand, evaluate, rehabilitate that person's brain, and then they act better. And that helps all of us. And it's, when I first started scanning people, I didn't really have an opinion on the death penalty. I just really hadn't thought about it. I thought of free will as black or white. You have it or you don't. And then as my work became known, defense attorneys would send me people who did really bad things, and their brains were so damaged. And when I would go to court, and a lot of people hated me for that, if you have a bad brain and you did something terrible, you don't get to go home. But should you kill them? It's a really important question. And I'm like, no, it's not the sign of an evolved society to kill sick people. You have to protect society from them. But what I've seen is if we rehabilitate their brain, they can have a meaningful life. And people just aren't connecting. It's your brain. It's easy to call people bad. It's harder to go, why? And, can I fix it?
How important it is. The benefit to their life if they stick around.
10 extra years of cognitive performance in their life, better love, better money, better health, because your brain, we're going to talk about, is involved in everything you do. How you think, how you feel, how you act, how you get along with other people. And my goal is to end, it's going to sound huge, and it is, and it's going to sound impossible, but it's not. My goal is to end mental illness by creating a revolution in brain health. I hate the term mental illness. It shames people. It's stigmatizing, and it's wrong. These things aren't mental disorders. They're brain disorders. If you get your brain healthy, well, your mind tends to follow. So you're depressed. An antidepressant is not doing one thing for getting your brain healthy. Nobody's talking to you about your diet, your level of exercise, your sleep, not living in a mold-filled home, not really allowing your kids to hit soccer balls with their head, right? Because that's not brain healthy. And if we can create this revolution in brain health, the incidence of mental health disorders will go down by half.
The B in Bright Mind stands for blood flow. Is I would give all children social media and video games and encourage them to play as much as they could, because that would drop blood flow to their brain. Brand new study, the more screen time, the smaller the brain.
That's
it's a
interesting.
little
Why?
horrifying. Well, one, they're not going outside. They're not getting exercise. They're not getting the sun. We have a massive deficiency of vitamin D in this country. And exercise increases something called BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It helps your brain grow. So we're losing Miracle-Gro. Retirement and aging is the R in Bright Minds. If I was an evil ruler, I would let everybody retire at 55 and not have to, and then I'd put them in front of the TV there and make them angry at, whatever political fight is going on. The I is inflammation, which comes basically from low omega-3 fatty acid levels, processed foods, gut problems. And so I'd nobody gets fish in my kingdom. And we don't have fresh food. We basically have fast food restaurants. The G is genetics. And I don't know what you have in your family. In mine, I have heart disease and obesity.
Obesity in a big way in my family.
Yeah, but as we can see, genes are not a death sentence. They should be a wake-up call to do the right things to decrease your genetic vulnerability. So if I was the evil ruler, I would go, you have obesity in your family. I'd do a public campaign. So it's in your family, why worry about it? Live it up, you're gonna die early, enjoy the path. As opposed to what I think is actually more rational, is you have this vulnerability, you need to be really serious about your health. The T is toxins, so if I was the evil ruler, I would get rid of all of the environmental protections so that we are filled with air pollution, water pollution. And I would tell the manufacturers they don't have to put the ingredients on the labels, not only for food, but also for personal products. And one of the things like parabens and phthalates are hormone disruptors. And aluminum, when we're putting them on our body, whatever goes in your body, goes on your body, goes in your body, becomes your body. I think of alcohol as a health food. We've certainly had that craze. I would legalize, not only legalize marijuana, but it's like, let's not say it's good for us, because all of my published research says it's bad. Now, does that mean if someone's dying of cancer and it'll help their pain and help the nausea and help them eat, God bless them, right? I mean, so let's be rational about it. I just saw someone who'd been smoking pot for 50 years and his brain was remarkably older than he was. The M is mental health. And if I was the evil ruler, I'd create CNN and Fox News. And that ruins people's health, because they always lead with negative, they increase anger and frustration and polarization. The more you're exposed to it, the angrier you get, and the more it separates you from other people. The I is immunity and infections. I would belittle people who are testing patients for Lyme disease. Diabesity, I'd create the American food system. ISIS has nothing on our food industry. And I'm not kidding when I say it, the weapons of mass destruction are highly processed, pesticide sprayed, high glycemic, low fiber, food-like substances stored in plastic containers. They're ruining our health. If I'm right, and I'm not the only one who's published this, there's been, I think, 20 other scientists. As your weight goes up, the size of your brain goes down. It's like, oh my God, if 70% of us are overweight, it's the biggest brain drain in the history of the United States. In fact, it's a national security crisis because they're not letting not as many people are eligible to sign up for military service because we just have an unhealthy population. And if I was an evil ruler, I would create screens that have blue lights because they disrupt sleep, because the S in bright minds is sleep.